It's a nice day out today, so I figured I'd stay inside and do some gunsmithing work. I am going to change out my Arsenal SGL-31 AK-74 trigger, the Arsenal trigger, with a Tapco G2. And then I'm also going to replace the pin retaining spring clip shepherd's hook thing with a Krebs custom one. Make it easier for takedowns in the future. So I went ahead and field stripped the rifle, and you can see the inside. This is the buttstock here, this is the front of the rifle, just to get your bearings right there. Tools I might be using: I got a punch for taking out the pins, needle nose, small flathead screwdriver, need a rubber band for attaching the springs to the hammer, and I got a mallet just in case I need to whack some shit, and a pick to assist with the springs. So let's get started. First thing to do is to take out the old system, the old fire control group here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put pressure on the hammer and pull the trigger and let the hammer up gently. And I'm going to reach in and pull the springs up and put it around the hammer. Keep that in place. And what this is doing is relieving any pressure on the hammer. And because I don't feel like getting smacked in the finger today with a spring, I'll go ahead and put a rubber band on this. And that'll keep it in place. This is my first time doing any work with the fire control group in an AK, but I wanted to show you how easy it actually is. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So this is a very easy thing to do. Alright, now that we got that up, go ahead and take the safety off, or the selector lever. You just pull straight up and wiggle it straight out. So I got that out. Set that aside. Next thing we want to do is, and I'll change the camera angle here, but we want to get the retaining pin retainer out. Because to get the pins out, you gotta have the retainer out. So this always usually creates some problems for people, but I'll show you how I do it, and hopefully that'll alleviate some problems. So let me go ahead and change camera angles. So this is what we got to take out. And as you can see, it comes around and goes around this pin here. That's the trigger pin. This is the hammer pin. And then it goes underneath this one. Okay, so with this flat nose, I'll go ahead and put some downward pressure on the retainer, and that should allow me to pop this pin out, like so. Now that the pin is out, you can see it there, yeah. See how it's got the, that's where it sets, right in there. So you push that out, set that aside, and now your hammer's free to come out. So there's the hammer removed. Okay, set that aside. So now you can see that it's still on this pin. This pin can't come out until this is off of it. So I'm going to take that flat nose screwdriver again and just put some pressure right here and push towards the back of the rifle ever so slightly. There. Pretty simple, not too incredibly hard. So that's removed. Now we can punch this pin out. Alright, and what happened there is the spring came out of the sear. So just make sure and put some pressure on it, otherwise it'll happen like what happened with me. And I'm lucky I found the spring, but it'll pop out, so just put pressure on it. And don't lose the spring, because you need this spring for the Tapco. Okay? Set that aside. And then just pop the trigger out. And there it is. There's the trigger. Okay. So let's get that Tapco in there. I'll change camera angles again. Okay, so we got that set up. We're all ready for the new Tapco trigger. Take the pieces out of the box here. So we got the, let's see here, hammer, trigger, disconnector, which you need that spring for, and then the assembly tube. The Tapco has the assembly tube in there, so if you ever need to take it apart again, that spring won't let go like it did with the Arsenal trigger, like you saw it happen to me. So let's see if we can get this together first. There's a little hole here. Spring goes in there. And then you take your trigger, and you can see there's another detent area right there. You put that in there. And as you can see, that kind of lines up there. And you just put the tube through. And you got to kind of mess with it a little bit to get it to fit. There you go. Okay, so that's all that needs to be done for that. That's ready to go. And then the hammer, we have to, on the old hammer, we have to remove this and put it on here. So I'll go ahead and do that. Carefully, otherwise you will get slapped by these springs. I can't imagine it would feel too wonderful. It might tickle a little bit, so just be careful. Okay, pressure's off of that. Pay attention to how this goes on. These are facing down. The loop here goes into that channel. So the part that hits the firing pin is facing down. So that's how you want the other one to go in as well. So feed this out. Get our new hammer. These are facing down. The part that strikes the firing pin is facing down. Okay, just like that. So now our hammer's ready to go. And you're going to want to go ahead and put the springs back up here again. I can sense some of you want this to slap me. You're just sitting there waiting. Ow! Yeah, you're just waiting for it to happen, aren't you? Fuckers. Alright. Got that son of a bitch on there. Tie that down again before I get slapped again. Okay. Alright. So let's go ahead and get the trigger in first. And the pin with the fat end goes on the non-selector side. Part with the sight rail or the optic rail if you have one. It was in the hole, through the hammer, and in the other hole. Just like that. Okay, hammer's installed. The trigger. Tapco makes it pretty easy, just drop her right in. Okay, that's in. Take the other pin, same thing, fat side. Goes through the tube, through the hole, through the tube, through the other hole. Just like that. Alright, so now we go ahead and remove the rubber band again. And go ahead and pull these back. That just falls down. Same with this one. Okay, those are both in place. I'll go ahead and cock the hammer back. Now, because I'm also replacing this shepherd's hook fail pin with the Krebs, I'm going to go ahead and put that in now. And like I said, this just makes it easier for taking it apart next time I want to do this. Now, what this one does is it goes, like you remember, it goes over that pin and then under the other one. This one, the safety lever goes in here. It locks this one in and it also locks that one in. So it's just got to go in on the side. Alright, hang on a second, I got to pound this one in. Okay, that one's in. Use a screwdriver to make sure it goes in the channel. Okay, and it's in there. Okay, and it's in the other one. Okay, and then you just got to put the safety back in, which is really easy. Goes in kind of like a key, like that, through the hole of the new retainer. And down. Alright. Oh man, that is a nice trigger. Oh yeah! Awesome. So there you are. That's how to install a new trigger or take it out or whatever you want to do. There's all your directions there. Hopefully it was a decent video. It helps you out in some way. And yeah, with that said, have a great day. See you later.